I still remember the exact moment I found out. I was sitting in my car in the Target parking lot, engine running, staring at my phone screen like it was written in a language I didn't speak. My 401k account, the one I'd been quietly building for 11 years, the one nobody in that family even knew existed, showed a balance of $214.73. It had been $65,000 the week before my surgery. I sat there for 45 minutes. I didn't cry, I didn't call anyone. I just sat there with the heat blasting and my hands completely still in my lap, and I thought, she actually did it. Let me back up because you need to understand who Martha is before any of this makes sense. My husband, Derek, was married before me. Her name is Brianna, and they were together for 6 years before it fell apart. No kids, no real assets, just a divorce that should have been clean. The problem was Martha. Martha never got the memo. In Martha's head, Derek and Brianna breaking up was a temporary inconvenience, like a Wi-Fi outage. She kept Brianna's photos on the mantle, she invited her to Christmas, she called her the one that got away, out loud, to my face, at a family dinner within the first 3 months of Derek and I dating. I should have run then. I know that now. Derek always made excuses. She's old-fashioned. She just needs time. She doesn't mean anything by it. I heard those sentences so many times over 3 years of marriage that I could say them in my sleep. I was patient. I tried so hard. I brought Martha flowers on her birthday. I offered to cook at Thanksgiving. I learned how she liked her coffee and brought her a cup every single Sunday when we visited. And every single Sunday, she found a way to remind me that I wasn't Brianna. Brianna always made the green bean casserole from scratch, with real cream.
Brianna used to take Derek hiking every weekend. You two don't really do much together, do you? Brianna called me mom after just 6 months. I'm not rushing you, sweetheart. That last one she said with this tight little smile that didn't reach her eyes, like she was doing me a favor by tolerating me. The grandkids thing started about a year into our marriage. Martha was convinced that the only reason I hadn't gotten pregnant yet was because I was, quote, withholding from Derek. She told him that. He told me. I sat on the bathroom floor of our $485,000 house and cried into a towel so he wouldn't hear me. We were dealing with fertility stuff that was genuinely painful, that I hadn't even fully processed myself, and his mother was out there spinning it into a character flaw. So when I needed a minor outpatient procedure last spring, nothing serious, just a laparoscopy, in and out, home by evening, I didn't think twice about the paperwork. They asked if there was a family member present who could act as my emergency contact. Derek was stuck in a work meeting he couldn't leave. Martha had offered to drive me. I thought it was a peace offering. I thought, finally, we're turning a corner. I was under sedation for about 2 hours, standard stuff. What I didn't know, what I couldn't have known, was that while I was lying on that table, Martha was at the nurse's station with a power of attorney document she had no legal right to possess. Apparently, she'd had it drawn up months earlier by some guy who does notary work out of a strip mall in her town. My name was on it. My signature was on it. Neither were real. I found this out 6 weeks later, in that Target parking lot, when I opened my retirement account app to check on a rebalancing I'd scheduled and saw $214.73 staring back at me. I called the account administrator from the car. They confirmed a full withdrawal had been processed, power of attorney on file. Everything looked, on paper, perfectly legal. I want to tell you I confronted Derek that night and he immediately took my side and we called the police together. That's not what happened. What happened was Derek went quiet and then he said, "Are you sure you didn't sign something when you were coming out of anesthesia and just don't remember?" And I looked at my husband, and I felt something in my chest just close, like a door shutting. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I said, "I need you to think very carefully about what you just said to me." And I went upstairs, and I didn't sleep at all that night. Over the next 2 weeks, I found out where the money went. It wasn't hard once I started digging.
Brianna had announced her engagement to some guy she'd been dating for 8 months, and Martha, who told me I didn't deserve family money because I hadn't produced a grandchild, had personally funded a $60,000 reception at the Harbor View Country Club 40 minutes from their house. The remaining $5,000 apparently went toward a custom dress and a rehearsal dinner. Martha had been on the planning committee. She told the florist she was the mother of the bride. She threw my retirement money at a wedding for her son's ex-wife and called it family money. I did not go to Derek. I did not call a family meeting. I did not send a long text to Martha asking her to explain herself, which is what the old version of me would have done, the version of me who brought her coffee every Sunday and smiled through the green bean casserole comments. I went to my laptop and I started making calls. I documented everything first, every bank statement, every account access log, every timestamp on that power of attorney. I tracked down the notary. Took me 4 days, and when I showed his information to an attorney, she made a sound like a low whistle and said, "This man is going to have a very bad month." I got a forensic handwriting analysis done on my signature. Came back conclusive. Forgery. I filed a police report for identity theft. I filed a complaint with the state attorney general's office. And then, because $65,000 moving through a fraudulent legal document has a way of catching the attention of certain federal agencies, I filed with the IRS and the FBI's Financial Crimes Division. Then I waited. The wedding was on a Saturday in October. I know because Martha had been posting about it on Facebook for 2 months, like it was her own personal triumph. I know because Derek had been invited as a guest, which tells you everything you need to know about the boundaries in that family, and had spent a week asking me if I'd be okay with him going. I told him to do whatever he needed to do. I had plans. The reception started at 6. I'd coordinated with the civil attorney on the exact timing. You want to wait until the room is full, until the champagne is poured, until the happy couple has had just enough time to believe the night is going to be perfect. I heard it happened right after the first dance. 2 people came in during the applause. One of them asked for Martha by name. The other asked for Brianna, well, her legal name. They were served simultaneously, about 15 feet apart, in the middle of the country club ballroom while the DJ was queuing up the next song. Martha's was a civil asset forfeiture notice tied to a lien I'd placed on her house, her paid-off $320,000 house, to recover the stolen funds, plus 10% interest. Brianna's was a civil summons naming her as a recipient of fraudulently obtained funds, which meant that wedding, legally speaking, was now an asset in dispute. I wasn't there. I was home, in my pajamas, eating leftover pasta, when my attorney texted me a thumbs up. The lien on Martha's house went through. She couldn't sell it, couldn't refinance it, couldn't do anything with it until the debt was satisfied. The notary lost his certification, the criminal identity theft charge is still working its way through the system, and I've been told to expect a resolution before summer. Derek and I are in the process of a divorce that he doesn't seem to fully understand yet is going to cost him significantly more than he anticipated, largely because I kept every record, every text, every time he questioned my memory instead of defending me. I have a new apartment. It's a 1-bedroom with big windows and a parking spot that actually fits my car. I opened a new retirement account last month. I put in the first deposit myself on a Tuesday morning with coffee I made at home. Brianna's dream wedding has already been the subject of 2 separate legal filings. I heard the marriage isn't going great. Martha still has the photos on her mantle, I'm sure, but she's got a lien on her house now too, so I guess we both left a mark.